if you think about it on a daily, weekly basis, what are the major things you do for your health?
Well, primarily it's the eating, no doubt about it. I obviously eat a lot less now, but it's because I changed the diet, and that's what's enabled me to eat less. So I don't have breakfast anymore. Yep. Most days anyway. I'll mix it up, but usually I won't have any breakfast, and I'll just have something at the buffet. Typically for lunch, it'll be a plate of meat and veg of some description, and then something similar when I get home. Having to learn to cook was a bit of a challenge. You know, I used to avoid the kitchen because the kitchen was the place where all the nasty things came from that made me fat, you know. But I've learned just enough to be able to get by with, you know, a Monday night meal, a Tuesday night meal, a Wednesday night meal, just having that routine so I don't have to think so much about what am I going to have for dinner. Just do a day of the week thing and be done with it. I'm fine with that. I don't get bored too easily. And really the only exercise I've done all the way through regularly is just the walking. So I walk to work and back every day. It's 2.5 Ks each way, so it's a 5K round trip, so it's 25 Ks a week. And that's it. But I'd started that before the low carb, and it was undoubtedly the diet that changed it for me. So all I'm doing now is just lunch and dinner, meat and veg twice a day. There'll be eggs now and then, that sort of thing. Bit of dairy, no worries.
What do you struggle with still?
What do I struggle with? Probably the biggest thing would be the odd social situation. Not that I get myself into many social situations, but every now and then you're at a do and there'll be food around, and just have some of this. Oh, you know, try some of this. You won't mind. It won't do you any harm. Whatever, you know. Treat yourself. You deserve it, or whatever. And I just have to politely say, look, I'm sorry, I can't. It's not to the point of an allergy for me, but I like to think of it as just an intolerance. You know, if someone is gluten intolerant, then people are accepting of that. You just can't have gluten. Granted, carbohydrates are a much sort of larger scale thing, a much broader category than simply gluten. But the principle is the same. If I am effectively intolerant of carbohydrates, then I just need to avoid them in just the same way that gluten intolerant people avoid gluten. Same deal. So that's just kind of the mentality I take, and people seem to be accepting of that. So that's just kind of how I deal with that.
So if you had 30 seconds with someone, what would be the one thing you would say to them about their health?
Well, it would depend on their current state of health, I suppose. But if they had a lot of weight to lose and they'd had it all their life as I had, I think the first thing I would put to them was that chances are, contrary to what I've been told to myself my whole life, it's not your fault. It had always been made out to be a personal failing on my part, some character flaw. I'm lazy, I'm stupid, I'm gluttonous, I'm slothful, all of the above. But it turns out I'm none of those things at all. Once I'd found out what worked for me, I'm just away. And really to just drive home the importance of getting the right information, and not being afraid to discard the old information, even if that's all you've known for so long, to just try something different, especially if what you're doing now is not working.